Day 16, Tuesday. Today's Willow's birthday. I don't know how Meredith found out, but she did. We're having a meeting in the group room this afternoon to plan a party. Meredith told us the news in a whisper, like she was a super spy. A secret ballerina super spy. Message received, I whispered back. Agent Logan, over and out. Meredith started to giggle, but I put my finger to my lips. Silence is priority number one, I whispered. Super stealth mode is activated. Agent Logan will be incommunicado until our next rendezvous point. I stuck out my hand for a secret handshake. Only it turns out you really can't do a secret handshake if the other person has no idea what you're doing. So I basically flailed my hand in the air and slapped Meredith's palm. That's when Heather came out with her clipboard. She gave me the weirdest look ever. Over and out, I mumbled. The other girls broke into giggles. Heather rolled her eyes. That made us laugh more. Willow is turning 30. I thought she was younger, but Meredith overheard Willow say her age. 30 is a big birthday. When Aunt Rose turned 30, she quit her teaching job and went to Italy for 3 months. She came back engaged to a guy from her bike tour named Raoul, who lived with her in Boston for a while and then moved to California to be a yogi. Aunt Rose cried for 2 weeks and then decided she still wanted to be a teacher after all. Aunt Rose has a very complicated life. My whole point is that 30 is a big birthday, one where you stop and think about what you want. We all like Willow. That's why we decided that we don't want her to quit her job and move to Italy. We want her to stay here and keep helping girls like us. We have to throw her a birthday party. Meredith bounced up and down on the toes of her flats. They're the closest she can get to ballet slippers in here. Maybe they'll even let us dance. Ooh, yes, Brenna bounced in her seat. Today is a very bouncy day. We can put up balloons and streamers and sing happy birthday and get her presents and have cake. Extra cake? Laura asked. On top of our meal plans? No way. She had a point. Maybe we can have cake as part of our meal plan, Brenna asked. Of course you want cake, Allie mumbled. We all still heard her being a jerk, though. Don't say stuff like that, I didn't mumble. Brenna doesn't deserve snarky comments about what she eats. None of us deserve snarky comments about what we eat. Stuff like what? Allie asked. I can say whatever I want. She raised an eyebrow at me. Like stuff certain people are doing at night. No one's doing anything at night except sleeping, Allie, Aisha butted in, then turned her back on Allie. So did Meredith. So did everyone else. They didn't ask what Allie was talking about. They just took my side. They took Brenna's side, and we kept planning the party. It wasn't like at school, when whatever Talia says becomes law, when the girls she hates become the girls everybody hates. Today, everyone had a mind of her own, and they picked me. We're still deciding about the cake. We didn't have streamers, so we made those paper chains Julie and I used to decorate the Christmas tree with, where you tape construction strips into circles and hook them into long strands. Instead of red and green, we used every color of the rainbow. Instead of balloons, we made signs. Happy birthday, Willow. Thank you for helping out. You're a great therapist. I overheard Heather and Jean talking about how mature we were. They also made up some fake meeting for Willow to go to while we decorated. When Willow finally came in, she was so surprised she shrieked, "Oh my goodness, girls! You are the sweetest people ever! I'll never forget this day." We played music, even some non-approved music with questionable lyrics. We danced for about 5 minutes until Jean told us we were being too active. It was so much fun. Laura's going out to dinner with her parents tonight. She got a special pass since her dad is going overseas this weekend. He's in the army and is going back to Afghanistan. Laura looked upset when she told us in group, so I tried to talk to her after. She totally shut me out, which made me think of Josie. I don't know what I can do to make things up to her. I wish I had a time machine so I could go back and throw her the biggest, bestest birthday party ever. I'd get a karaoke machine because Josie loves to sing them, and we'd sing Love is an Open Door, even though karaoke is the most embarrassing thing ever. I'd even go out to eat for her like Laura's doing. Her family is going to Frankie J's, a super scary Italian restaurant whose portions are as big as my head, maybe bigger. What does a big plate of pasta feel like to you? Willow asked me in our session. Like I'm on a roller coaster, I answered, like my stomach is dropping out of my body and the whole world is falling away. I thought for another minute. I like metaphors. So does Mrs. Moynihan. She'd be proud of me. You know, there's no gravity in space. Willow nodded, all therapist like. She just needed a sweater with elbow patches on it or a pipe, except those are gross. You know how whatever whenever astronauts are floating in space, they're tethered by a cord, a really long one so it doesn't break and send them out into the void forever? When I think about eating at Frankie J's, it's like I'm in outer space. But instead of a cord, there's an elastic band, one of those really thin ones that break all the time, like on a cheap Halloween mask. I was sure Willow was going to laugh at my metaphor. I stared at her carpet. It's dark red with yellow dots, like bits of gold, are embedded there. Keep going, she prompted. If I eat something scary, that band will snap. I'll be in space, I whispered the last part. What's so scary about outer space? I raised my eyebrows at her. It's outer space, duh. You keep floating forever and ever, and you can never get back home, and then you die. But what if you don't die? That's a silly question, I said. Of course you die. You can't survive in outer space. It's dark and bleak, and there's no one else around. There's no food. Willow raised her eyebrows at the word food. She didn't say anything, though. I bet there's a special class in shrink school called How to Be Quiet to best unnerve your patients. I bet Willow aced that class. But what if you don't die? She asked again. What if outer space isn't dark and scary? What if it's just that no one you know has reported back after their elastic snapped? I looked up from the carpet. What if it's beautiful in space? Willow asked, full of supernovas and exploding stars and brilliant colors. What if the most wonderful place in the world, but you're too scared to release your tether and find out? I wanted to ask her what colors were out there and how bright they were, but all I could feel was the elastic band snapping and sending me hurtling into the darkness. What if it's dark and cold, though? Isn't that like it is now? Willow asked. So why not try for a supernova? You have nothing to lose. Day 17, Wednesday. Allie did crunches again last night. Allie sounded like she was dying again. I have to do something. I told Willow about the crunches. I told her about me, and I told her about Allie. I almost chickened out. I felt like I was going to faint, but I did it. Willow told me she was proud of me for admitting what I'd done and asking for help. She said that this, more than anything, told her I was on the road to recovery. You didn't have to tell me anything, Willow said. You could have kept it a secret, hid it in the shadows where you would grow to be more fierce and dangerous. Willow was smiling so big I bet it hurt her jaw. You know what you are, Riley? What? You're a superhero, and you're saving yourself. I thought of all the comic books that Brenna reads, and all the kick-butt heroines in them. I imagined myself in a cape, my feet planted on the ground, my fist raised to the sky. Superheroes aren't weak. Neither am I. Is Allie going to get in trouble? My voice was shaking, because that's something superheroes probably don't do. They don't betray their friends or break their promises. Real friends break promises when it's important, especially when someone's life is on the line. You're helping Allie by telling me, Willow said. That's my promise to you. Day 18, Thursday. They switched Allie's room last night. The counselors told us she was moving across the hall, and wouldn't answer any of our questions. I know they've confronted her, though, because they have a staff member checking her room every 15 minutes at night. Allie hates me. She keeps looking at me like I'm a slab of steak and she's a hungry tiger. Even dealing with Talia would be better than this. At least outside the hospital, I'd be doing other stuff besides eating. In here, that's all there is to do: eat and emotions and crying. The world is going on without me. I think my drawing is getting better at least. I've been doing it all the time, in and out of art therapy. I've drawn all the girls in here. I've drawn them all more than once, actually, in different poses and different lighting. Mom was right, too. I was bad at shadowing. That's why my noses always look strange. But now that I've drawn and redrawn and experimented, I'm getting better at it. I'm not a failure. I'm a work in progress. Maybe I can work hard and take that class with Emerson and then more classes and get better and better until someday I'll become a professional artist. How cool would that be? I don't have to display in Mom's gallery either. There are tons of other galleries and tons of other paths to take. I just have to find my path. I can't be an artist with an eating disorder, though. Art is all about trying new things, exploring the world, and capturing those emotions. I don't have emotions when I'm sick. I'm too scared to explore anything when I'm focused on my body. I need to be free to live my life. I can't control my body and be an artist. I can't control my body and be me. Mom and Julia came for a visit tonight. Mom tried to convince me to ask for a pass. She wanted us to go out to eat together, but there's no way I'm ready for that yet. You're doing so well, she said. I'm not doing that well, though. The idea of Mom staring at me while I stare at the menu makes my heart race faster than it does when I run the 400-meter. What if I order more food than they usually have me eat in here? What if the salad comes with dressing already on it? What if Mom pressures me to order dessert and it's delicious and I eat and eat until it's gone? I won't be able to run to burn off the calories and I'll throw a big fit or get anxious. Mom will be disappointed. Julia brought a bunch of board games instead. We played Settlers of Catan and Ticket to Ride and King of Tokyo. King of Tokyo was boring with 3 players, so Brenna and Laura joined us. Brenna got so into it she started jumping up and down and pretending to be Godzilla whenever it was her turn. It was so funny. At first Laura acted embarrassed by us, but I could tell she had fun too. Her boyfriend hasn't been visiting or returning her emails, so she's been super grumpy lately. I get that. It's lonely in here. It's like that lost city of Atlantis, the one that sank into the ocean never to be seen again. Some explorers think it's a real thing and spend their entire careers searching for that gleaming tower beneath the surface. Most people think it's a myth, though. If Atlantis was real, the world has forgotten it ever existed. Everyone else has gone on with their lives, made new friends, moved on. Meanwhile, all of us underwater people are struggling to swim up to the surface. Here I am, find me, see me. At least Julia is still searching for Atlantis. She didn't talk about my body at all, unlike Mom, who kept examining me like she was a human x-ray machine. Julia talked about TV instead. Apparently, this new show premiered last night that everyone in her class is totally obsessed with. She told me about the main character and his magic powers, and the boy he likes and the girl who likes him, and how the scene with the shapeshifter was so cool. I listened the whole time and didn't even laugh at all the funny faces Julia was making. I bet I earned major big sister points for that. Not like the negative 7 million points I've earned in the past year, when I never said congratulations after a good meet and never had time to help Julia with her homework. After a while, Julia started tiptoeing around me like I was a bomb about to erupt. She didn't ask me to do anything with her. Julia was too busy growing her awesome life. I was too busy shrinking mine. Today was different, though. Today we acted like sisters. Julia didn't talk about gymnastics. I didn't talk about food. She treated Brenna and Laura like normal people, too, not circus freaks. At the end of their visit, Mom sent Julia to the hallway to wait for her, After she left, Mom put her arm around me. I snuggled into her side. Half of me was afraid that she was going to jump away like Emerson did and start chiding me for being too thin. The other half was glad to have my mom here. I pretend I'm not scared, but I really am. I'm scared a lot. I just want everyone to think I'm strong. Are you mad at me? I asked. Riley! Mom looked so shocked that I thought she was mad at me. I thought she was going to yell or even worse, say how disappointed she was that I'm not all the way better yet. She didn't. Honey, I'm not even the smallest bit mad at you. Mom tilted my chin up so I was looking into her eyes. It's what she does when I'm in trouble and she wants me to make eye contact. That's why I didn't believe her. You're not lying? I wouldn't lie to you, Mom said. I promise. But I lied to you. I felt the tears welling up. I didn't want to cry. I couldn't be weak. I had to show Mom I was strong. I lied and I snuck around. You did, Mom said. You made some mistakes, like all kids do. Julia doesn't make mistakes, I mumbled. Mom laughed. Oh, yes, she does. Julia talks back and messes up her room and messes up her vault. And that's what I heard you say last month, that she's not working hard enough? Oh, Riley, Mom pulled away and took a deep breath, then hugged me again. I don't care about Julia's vault, or Julia's scores, or your weight. You care about your weight, I said, and you talk about gymnastics all the time. I wanted to say something about my art, but I couldn't quite get there yet. It would hurt too much if Mom confirmed that she judged my talent. I'd be too nervous if she asked to see what I'm working on. I'll save that talk for later. I do watch my weight, Mom said. I diet sometimes, but that's me, not you. We're different people. You have to remember that. Of course, I know we're different people. Mom's 42 and I'm 12. Mom has gray hair and I have pimples. She likes boring documentaries and I like action movies. That doesn't mean I'm okay with her dieting, though. This is the kind of stuff we talk about in assertiveness group. Speaking up when we want something from family members. Putting our needs into words. Heather worked on it with us yesterday. Brenna practiced asking her sister to stop making fun of her. Meredith practiced telling her dad that ballerinas are athletes too. I practiced telling Mom and Dad that I wanted them to pay more attention to me. I rehearsed looking at them in the eye and making my voice firm but not loud. I rehearsed sitting up straight and squaring my shoulders. I did none of those things today. I didn't tell Mom that her diets make me want to diet. I didn't tell Mom that when she talks about losing weight, I want to lose weight. That even though I know weight loss isn't a competition, I always feel like it is. I always want to win. Okay, I said instead. I'll remember that. Good. Mom's phone buzzed. Her fingers tapped away. Hold on, it's your father. Can I talk to him? One sec. More tapping. Sorry, honey, he had to go. He sends his love, though. Why can't he tell me himself? It would take 1 minute of his day. 20 seconds, even. He has a meeting, I think. I'm more important than a meeting, but I didn't say that to Mom. I wanted her to go home. I wanted to be alone. Mom? Yes. I love you. I couldn't say anything else, but I could say that. Maybe someday I'll learn to say more. I love you too, honey. You're doing so well. You look healthier. My heart stopped. I literally felt it stop. For one heartbeat of a moment, I ceased to exist. I hovered outside myself, hearing Mom's words as my whole body went numb. Healthy. Does that word mean the same thing to me anymore? Does it mean that I'm not special? That I'm weak? Or does it mean I'm healthy? Full of health? Not about to die? The staff here doesn't talk about our bodies. They don't tell us we look good or healthy or better. They talk about our personalities instead, our smile, our talents. Brenna, I love how excited you were when you talked about your trip to the wizard world of Harry Potter. Meredith, that story was hilarious. Aisha, I can tell you're a great friend. Laura, that insight was fantastic. There's nothing to decode because we don't talk about weight. We talk about how we feel about weight, but not about how much we weigh. Mom doesn't know that rule, though. She doesn't know that she's pushed my brain into a whirlpool. I try to use my healthy voice. I tried to stop my thoughts before they turned into urges by picturing a big red stop sign in my mind. Being healthy is good. Being healthy means I'm not sick. It means I can take that art class with Emerson. It means I can go home. But what if I go home and Mom's on a diet? What if I show her my newest drawing and she tells me they're awful? What if nothing changes but me? Will I be able to keep going, or will I slide back into sickness? I don't want to be sick forever. I feel happier now. My body doesn't hurt as much. I can concentrate. I read 3 whole chapters in my book this afternoon without getting distracted. I can probably do schoolwork now. I don't want to go back to where I was before.